If you really don't like them, if you could manage to get your palm stick there and do one of the tap-ons, that really drops them.
So although I'm not hitting the sternum, I'm going under it and then dragging up the sternal notch. Causes a lot of pain, causes both hands to come out, causes the attacker to jump back off.
You haven't got long, but it's more than enough time to do a hidden strike. So you tell me when you know you're going to be hit.
I can't see it.
You can't see it. One of the great vital points.
One of the most painful vital points.
Stop that, fanboy. It's very annoying. And don't play with it this time. This week we're going to have a quick look at attacking pressure points and vital points using our trusty palm stick or our trusty fan. So what I'm going to do is show you the location points first. So the first one I'm looking at, Callum hates this, is the third eye. So look at the brow line in the centre of the nose, and you're looking for about finger width up from here, so this point here. The beauty of this shot is if I miss, it's going to hurt, and no matter what I hit in that general area, it's going to hurt anyway. I'm also going to be looking at this point here, the nice little dimple of the chin. So if you put your finger across your chin, between the teeth and the chin, you've got a nice little point here. We are going to look at the clavicle, or the top of the trapezius muscle, the trusty sternum, the side of the neck, so we've got this angle in here, downward angle here, and this is coming in straight here. So Callum's moved his arm for me. We've got floating ribs here, gallbladder 26. So it's about here, it's about halfway up at the midsection. The reason these are floating ribs is, unlike the ones that come all the way around, they attach to the sternum, the two down here don't, and the bottom one, on the very end tip, is gallbladder 26. Good point to aim for, lucky if you get it, but regardless, no matter where you hit around there, it's going to be a good shot. We've now got the hip, which is a nice balance point, and the bladder. Moving down, if Callum just lets his arm hang loose down by his side, where his fingertips are, here is gallbladder 32, which is the very nice, give them a dead leg, quite painful point. If they can't stand, they can't fight. Useful tip. And a final one we're going to look at today is, if Callum turns towards me slightly, needs no introduction, the groin. What you've got to remember is the basic strikes that we did to start with, and coming up from a guard position, so you're not going to be here with it in your pocket, then this ruffian comes up. Hang on, be with you in a second. Right, I'm good to go. That's not going to happen. So if he just comes up, and I'll say this, if somebody wants to hit you, stab you, shoot you, or bludgeon you with something, they're going to do it, unless you are 100% aware and ready. So luckily for me, I am. So we're going to look at some pressure points. We're going to pick 8, because that seems to be a lucky number for us, from this position, and we're going to first off do this nice downward strike. And as I'm doing it, I'm also putting this little flick in at the end. So my trusty companion here, he's going to throw in his attack, I'm going to cover a block, just so you can see I'm taking the arm out of the way, and I'm going to go for this third eye point here, and he's grimacing, I can tell you that, and strike here. If I miss, this will go down and strike his nose, which is nice.
Looking at the number 1 point, third eye. As you see, Chris has put his force field up, so I can't hit him in the third eye. But look at the height disadvantage I've got here. If Mr. Nasty Chris is going to attack me, and I'm going to go up for this third eye, you can see exactly what the hell I'm doing. So again, if I've got contact, remember the balance points? Bring it in, as he comes down, meet him. Okay? If it's come from a punch, and I've got the block through, drive through, come for the arm bar, then I can actually bring him down to do this strike with the fan. Not a point I'd go for, because of basically the height.
Second point is going to be here. So this is conception vessel 24. Conception vessel runs centre down, line down the body, And this is a very nice one, bringing this down and hooking it down, striking through and just giving that little flick at the end. If you really don't like them, if you put your palm stick, I'm going to exaggerate this so you can see it, if you can manage to get your palm stick there and do one of the tap-ons, that really drops them. Nice and simple, but very good. So the motion would be here, and as you hit the target, dragging down as well. If you're doing the other method, so it's straight onto the point, you're hammering down. And that will give you a really good effective knockout. For attacking the collarbone or the clavicle, exactly the same strike, or from here, or you can do a driving strike. Covered, we're in. I can combine the two, so not only if I hit it, I'm dragging it and I'm driving it through as well. So you'll get two strikes from one point. It's nice circular chain punching like motion.
As with the previous one, the point is here. You can feel there's a little crevice. And yes, I can get the palm up there quite nicely and I can do an attack, but again, I'm bringing it up and showing him exactly what I'm doing. As with the first one, with the hand grip, I can bring him onto it, or I can armbar him into it. You've got the opportunity to just try and jab. This area here, you've got loads of nerves that run all the way up. You know the one under the nose, between the brow and the third eye point. So you do have a chance, even if you start to take his head back. But that's as gentle as I can be, and that was what, uncomfortable?
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. So for these 2 points, not really on my list of attacks. Unless I'm in my canes, walking, then I've got the opportunity. For this one, we're going to do a double hand grab around the throat. Once he's done this, the anatomy and physiology has gave me a very nice, if I just turn this way, Chris, and go forward, it's accentuated a diamond area. And if I put my finger in there anywhere, I'm going to start, I can feel his muscles twitching, his pectoral, yeah, feel it? So if he's got me in a double hand grab, I'm able to come over like this. It's fallen into this area. I would double hand and come through this way. Once I've got to here, I've got these 2 points that I can start attacking. Now Chris showed you put the palm stick on, hit the palm stick. Because my fan is in here, I'm going to blade hand and knife hand strike where I can.
Our next line will be our sternum. So from here, my reaction would be to give this drive in and a short, sharp jab into the centre line of their body. If I'm here, I can poke. So we're not using complicated strikes, and that's the key to this. Don't overcomplicate it. This is going to be the strike that gives you the time to think while they're slightly discombobulated. Callum would throw the punch, I'm in close. Fights don't happen at this distance. They're not going to stand over there for you. They're going to be in your face. So I need these to be covered, close, strike. I'm striking. You can do the continual striking. If I'm going for this one and I miss, I've still got this strike. I've still got this. I've still got this. So this all blends in together with the other techniques. If I'm here and I'm not being quick enough and he actually manages to put his arms like bear hug me, I haven't really got a lot of room. But what I can do, and I'm going to step away slightly, I covered myself like this, so I can actually do our double taps from here. So Callum's grabbed, I've got no room to manoeuvre, he's bigger and stronger. What I can do is use my back of my hand, my forearm, or my hammer fist and just give it a slight, I'm going to do this gently. And I literally moved about 2 to 3 millimetres on that one.
It's not nice, that one.
The sternum is one of the best areas that I absolutely love hitting. The cricothyroid posture there, right the way down to the zippy sternum, is 2 bones. There's a very small one here, very large one here. And coming from a nursing background, every patient that's had heart bypass done, they say the worst part of the operation is the sternum. That's where they get most of the pain because it's a horrible area. So looking at a punch, I'm up in my guard position, his hand's in the way. If I've got that out of the way and the other hand comes in, I've got an opening if I need to. If it's a double-handed grab, I've got to bring the fan up, get the elbow in, get over, drag down. This is where I'll turn the fan, come in under the ziffy sternum and flick up. There is an area called the solar plexus just under the ziffy sternum. So although I'm not hitting the sternum, I'm going under it and then dragging up the sternal notch. Causes a lot of pain, causes both hands to come out, causes the attacker to jump back off.
Gallbladder 26 or the floating ribs, I can do it from here and I'll need this nice round circular motion. If I've got what we call a low guard or a low ready position, I can drive it up. But look at the distance it's travelling. It's not a huge motion. You want short, sharp, controlled, focused attacks. You do a big motion, you're going to open yourself up. So Callum's very nicely going to leave his arm in a convenient position for me to attack. So I'm either here, and I'm driving it round, or I'm coming up. I'm looking for the general area. If I miss the floating rib and go higher, it doesn't matter. If I go lower, it doesn't matter. This is still going to hurt. And you're looking to drive that in and scrape it through. Always think that there's not just one strike. You can do something else with these as well. Callum's been a big meanie, and he's going to choke me. His vision is blocked by his own arms. I like this because I know where his arms are. You haven't got long, but it's more than enough time to do a hidden strike. So you tell me when you know you're going to be hit.
I can't see it.
You can't see it. Even if I'm coming, does the grab again, I can jab out through. If I can't try and come over, he's well on his way to stopping that. So think about his position as well, his arm positions, and they'll give you, like when we did the hidden strike the other week, it's the same principle. So it looks nothing like the technique, but it is exactly the same principle, and that's the key.
The floater rib. Absolutely love this one. Double-handed grab, please, sir. Like Chris mentioned, he's looking at me because he's having a go at me, he's spitting venom back, and I've got this area here. If he's got a duffel jacket on, or if he's got padding, I'm not going to go, hang on, there we go, there. It's hard. It is hard. And if you look at it, if you stand up straight, Chris, his ribs are in a line. But as soon as I put my hands there, I can feel his ribs. Now bend forward. They start to close in. The reason they close in is a thing called the intercostal space. The intercostal space is tissue that is between every single rib. So when you take a deep breath, it expands. When you take a breath out, it contracts. The same if you move. If you put this hand to that knee, you can see that is, it's almost like an accordion. It's come back in. So he's got a double-handed grab. And I really want to hit here. But if I come up from here and drag down, and that's very, very gentle, just literally going along the ribs, you can see his whole body's shifted. So I've come down from there, his body's shifted through, I'm in this position, and whee, floater rib. Because he's now more prominent. You have to look at these points and realise that as his body moves, the point has changed reference. We'll see this with the hip as well, but with the floater ribs, anywhere between the armpit and I would say what we call the saddle, which is that nice little bit here that guys of our age tend to sort of get a nice bulge. Yeah. Anywhere from there downwards, play it like a xylophone. You're pushing in and dragging down. It's going to give you the same effect.
This is more of a breakaway technique. If someone's in close, you want to break their balance, you haven't got too much room to move. I'm just going to push in my palm stick and then focus my wrist down and poke in a downward angle. So I'm going from a nice horizontal plane, curl it down, 45-degree angle. Hey, that reminds me of my bank account balance. So what's going to happen, you can do a one-handed grab. If I'm here, he's ready for this. If I'm here, does that look as threatening?
No.
I'm just going to take that point, I've broken his balance. And then you can go into the other stuff that we do with our hooking blocks. But it's just this in, focusing it down. Don't forget, all these work empty hand as well, and they do work with your cane. So what's going to happen on this one, because I've been really mean to Callum, I'm going to do the double-handed grab. It could be a collar grab, it could be the choke. He's going to put that onto that balance point in my hip, and rather than push, because he's got holding it this way round and not this way round, he's going to give it a nice little tap for me. If you don't know where this point is, because you haven't watched any other art videos, well, circle of shame for you, but where your waistline is, if you feel you've got the bits of your pelvis sticking out where your hips go in, and you're looking for that, there's the least amount of muscle there, so it's just tendons and skin really over the top. So you're looking for this point here. So I've got the grab on, I can't see that coming in, and all he's going to do is whack it, and then that was just a gentle tap. I do a couple of taps just to get the, and it's just giving us that machine gun effect, and I'm dropping my weight. I've actually presented my face here, so if he brings that up into a nice whatever, but my reaction is my balance has gone, hooking round the neck, driving it up into my face. It's all good.
This is one thing I love. If you've seen our videos with Cole Cooper's Toxic Fighting, you're in this position, and if Chris just punches away, you guys can't see it, but I can see that hip's forward, that hip's back. That hip's forward, that's back. So I can see when that punch is coming. So if he's punching me this one, I've seen it before it starts. So all I've got to do is, as that punch comes in, is meet it. He's doing half the work for me because he's trying to get that nice knockout punch. He's bringing his shoulder, his hips, his back, his legs, his neck. He's bringing everything to get this haymaker going. Comes through, I meet it, and then keep pushing. And the good thing is because with this fan, I would fight like this. Because I know that once that's come through, I've got little bits that I can do. So a really nice point. If they've got a stranglehold on me, they've just shown me exactly where it is. Because as I said before, the hips have bent over, his torso is there. So a nice little point there, and the t-shirt showed me a V. So I've got both sides if I want to push away. As before, it's a little bit harder with a fan. If you've got the steel fan with the tines that are quite stable, they're not fantastic, you can get in and tap. But all you need to do really is, if you've got this position, and you're literally just pushing forward, but make sure that the hand comes up in guard.
So, I hope we all know where our bladder is. Nice downward driving motion. It's exactly the same motion, but rather than breaking their balance, we're going to do what we used to call in the Navy breaking the seal, which means as soon as you put pressure on it, you need to go. Same routine is driving, pushing angle down, or you've got this nice hammering down. Nobody likes to be hammered in the bladder. It's the same angle, but that little dig at the end really gives it a nice powerful effect. It's good for stopping a punch. If he grabs me, two hands, it's nice and close, and I'm going to drive in. Nice and simple, but quite a good effect on it. If you're really mean, rather as you go down, then flick it up as well. So you're going to press down on the bladder, then not a happy Callum.
With the bladder, again, if Chris is leaning forward, he's giving me the pelvic triangle, which I can see. So I've got bladder here, got groin there. So I'm in this bit. Chris likes the drag up. I prefer to put on and strike down. You can tell by that little bit that I've put on there, and he just exhaled the hair. Oh, it's great to hear, but
Yeah.
barely touched you there.
Gallbladder 32. This is a nice down hammer strike. Regardless of the attack, I'm going to go from this side. If I just swing my body in, drive the point of my palm stick into that point, it's not going to take a lot of effort, but it's going to give you a nice effect. If I'm trying to hammer it down, I've got to do a lot more body motion. I may be able to clear with this arm and push it in, but from here is a better reaction from my point of view.
As with the toxic fighting system, as soon as Chris has gone into guard, and I know this hand's come through there, I know the live side is on my dead side and he's presented the whole lot. It is hard to do this motion, change it down and do that motion, but you can drag from here all the way down to the knee. I like to hit and hit off, so that I'm now coming up for this, to get ready, double side. And I'm just literally playing with his legs, and then ribs. So again, the downward strike more powerful than the push strike.
The last one is the groin. So this is a vital point. If you don't know where the groin is by now, I'm not too sure what you're doing here, but these nice strikes here, but if you've got a nice loose grip, a nice gentle flick up will do the job. But I'm not going to torture poor Callum with that one.
The last one, my wife's favourite, the groin. As Chris said, a little tap up. If he's in my eyes, if his hands are anywhere, like here, he's got a guard, and I'm like, mate, look mate, I don't want, it's just a perfect strike up. If you're really nasty, there's a thing called the perineum, and between your genitalia and your anus is a piece of skin. It's about 1.5 inches to 2 inches long, and you can get in, get up, hit it, and then drag and rip through. It is probably one of the most painfulest things I've ever encountered. If you've sat anywhere and you've sat on something, you'll understand the pain hits, goes through your belly, up through your face, and out the head, and you scream. Not a nice point to hit, is it?
And it's called Conception Vessel 1. One of the great vital points.
One of the most painful vital points. Thanks for watching. We hope you like. Drop us a line down below.
As usual, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to ring the bell so you can get notifications, and don't forget to free the theatre.